Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to history class, where we are talking about the Empire of Rome. Or rather, we will be talking about the Empire of Rome. We're going to be leading up to it this week on how it got from where it was. You may remember that on Tuesday, we talked about the last king of Rome, who was this guy, King Tarquin the Proud. He was a terrible, terrible king. He was a bloody man. And the people got together and they chased him out of town. And then they said, you know what? No more kings. No more kings. We're going to make a republic. A republic is when instead of there being a king who says, this is what you have to do, a republic has a set of laws down that everybody has to follow. And the people that are in the government have to listen to the people who are not in government. The common man, they call them. Okay? In a monarchy, when you have a king around, the king says, you have to do this. In a republic, the people in charge say, the people want us to do this. Everybody does this because this is what the people want. And like I said before, in my mind, it's the best kind of government. It keeps the government from getting too strong, and it allows the people a chance to say what happens. Of course, the problem is that when the people in charge start to get too used to being in charge, then they pass rules to make themselves be in charge forever. And I'm not going to say whether or not you have a president who does that, but maybe you do. Okay, the Roman Republic lasted for 500 years. 500 years the Roman Republic lasted. It's one of the longest republics that have ever existed in the world. The head of the Roman Republic would be this guy, or these guys rather. This was the consul. The consul. They didn't have presidents, they had consuls. The consuls were elected. And they could only be consul for 1 year. And also, instead of having just one consul, they had two consuls. Sort of like having two presidents. And they had to agree on whatever they wanted to do. If one of them wanted to raise taxes, he couldn't do it unless the other consul said yes. If one of the consuls wanted to go to war, he couldn't do it unless the other consul also said yes. Okay, I think that might be a good idea to bring back. Keep any one person from getting too much power. Now, under the consul, they had the other people. You had the senators. The senators, they were sort of like the governors, people like that. They said, Consul, this is what we think you should do. They voted on laws and things like that. They advised the consuls. And under that, you had the regular common people. Now, they did not have a constitution like Honduras has and like the United States has. The Constitution is supposed to say things like, this is what the government does. It can do this, 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 this. It cannot do this, 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 and this. Well, instead, they said sort of, this is what we think the government should do. This is what we think the government should do. But they don't have to do it if they want to. But it would be a good idea. That's not really a good idea to have that in your laws, that if the government wants to follow the law, it can, but doesn't really have to. Now, that's a terrible, terrible way to do things, because what's going to happen? What's going to happen is every time that the people that you elect, they're going to decide that we don't have to follow the rules if we don't want to. And that's what happened with the Roman Republic. It started to become corrupt. If you don't know what that means, it means that the people in charge started to think, we don't have to listen to what the people think. We can do what we want to do. And everybody has to follow us or else. They started going just the same way that they were going when they had a king. The people in charge got richer. They got more power. And Rome started to turn into a mess. And the problem was, though, that since they have all the money and they have all the power, nobody is going to stand up to them. It's going to be like this forever. Pretty soon, we're going to go back to the way we went before, with kings again. And it might have stayed that way were it not for one man. One man. A man by the name of Gaius Julius Caesar. Have you ever heard of him? If you haven't, you will. We're going to spend a whole lot of time talking about him next week, I think. Next 2 weeks, I think. I'm not going to talk about him too much this week. But Gaius Julius Caesar, he was a general in the Roman armies. And he said, the way that the Republic is working is not good. Is not good. There's too many people trying to do too many things. There's chances for more people to be corrupt. No, we have to change things. And so Caesar decided that he was going to change things. How? Well, we will talk about that in the very near future. Okay? It won't be today, because it won't be this week, because we're going to build up to show how we get to Caesar taking over. So for now, let's just go over our questions for this week, for today rather. Question number 1, how long did the Roman Republic last? It lasted 500 years. Number 2, what was the head of the Roman Republic called? And that was the consul. The consuls, like their president, the consul. And question number 3, what famous general took over the Roman Republic? And that was Gaius Julius Caesar, or Julius Caesar, or just Caesar, as he's known. Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Tomorrow, come back to see what kind of deportes they had in Rome. I think you might like that. See what kind of sports they had going on there. All right. Well, that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. So have a good day.